What's good, everybody? This is your boy Ced Banner, and this is my review of Justice League. So I don't have to tell you, DC has everything working against them releasing this film, but it's definitely long awaited. I've definitely been waiting on it for a long time, and I was very excited about it, but at the same time, of course, nervous about it as everybody else was. So let's jump right in. As far as direction goes, this was a huge risk to even release the film or finish it, because it started off being directed by Zack Snyder, who has directed several films for DC at this point. He, of course, had a terrible family tragedy and did leave the film. And Joss Whedon was brought in, which was an extremely bold move by DC, in my opinion. And when you watch this film, you know, of course, I was one of the people wondering, would you be able to tell that this change of direction was made? And you can, if you're looking for it. Really, the film goes from the first half being, you know, the dark, action-packed, brutal Snyder style that we've grown accustomed to, and moves into kind of a lighter style. You know, the scenes are lighter, the action is still brutal, but it's a little more clean cut. And I actually thought it was kind of cool. I thought that worked together well for the film because it kept it from becoming kind of stale and repetitive. The storyline overall, I was actually pretty impressed with. Just because, of course, I was wondering how in the hell are you going to bring all these characters together, these heroes together, half of which, or actually a little more than half of which, we haven't met, along with the villain. How do you introduce them? How do you bring them together and make a film that we actually even want to see? I think overall, and for the most part, DC succeeded there. The villain is pretty much what tied everyone together, Steppenwolf. And, you know, there are some complaints going around because he is a CGI villain. I thought I would hate that. I didn't hate it. I didn't love him. He's not the best villain, of course, that we've seen, but he's far from the worst, in my opinion. I thought he was a solid villain. He's not that menacing, but he is powerful, and he did give the heroes reason to come together when it came to his motivation. As far as holes in the storyline, the thing is, because of the type of film this is, and we're being introduced to Flash for the first time, Cyborg for the first time, Aquaman for the first time, and Steppenwolf for the first time, it's hard to say that some of the holes are holes because there are solo efforts still coming. But as far as just this film as it is now, in my opinion, did not affect the overall feel of the film and whether or not you will enjoy it. There are some Easter eggs in the film that I loved, I really enjoyed and appreciated. There are a couple of surprises, or what are meant to be surprises, they really aren't. Not for those of us that keep up with the movies, you know, and the storyline, even if you're just a comic fan. Not really going to be a surprise, but the way that things were done, I'm of course a huge DC fan, mainly because of how dark they're willing to get in their films. I like the darker storylines, and they do that here, but they manage to do it and also have some lighthearted fun as well. The film is very funny in several parts. Flash, who is played by Ezra Miller, does a great job and brings a lot of comic relief to it. Ray Fisher does a good job as Cyborg. I enjoyed seeing him on screen when he was on there, but overall, I mean, I will admit, even as a huge DC fan, it's kind of like, why is he here, you know? But he's there, and I did enjoy him on screen, I will say that much. Never thought I'd see the day that I was sort of an Aquaman fan. But I like what DC's doing with him here. He's not the, you know, corny guy in the orange and turquoise or green anymore. He's being played by Jason Momoa. Most of us know him as Drogo from Game of Thrones. He really makes the character fun. He makes him more of a badass type character. And I'm really looking forward to his solo effort. Ben Affleck, my guy Ben, he does a great job. Batman's still old and grouchy, but he also has some fun lines, or some funny lines as well, some great interaction. Has great interaction with Momoa as Aquaman, and also some great and funny interaction with Ezra as Flash. So that's all I'll really go into detail about with the film, because I don't want to do spoilers or go too in depth for anyone who hasn't seen it. But overall, like I said, I really had fun. It's a fun film. Its issues and its problems are not anything that killed the film, in my opinion. And overall, the film feels like a reset. There's even a line where Bruce Wayne says, I'm fixing a past mistake. I made a big mistake in the past and I'm fixing it. And of course, that's kind of a wink to us, the audience, and I appreciate it. One negative I will mention, because it doesn't require me going into a spoiler, is that I would appreciate if DC would work more on actually making what's happening with the heroes matter to the people around them. Through this film, a lot of times I kind of found myself wondering, okay, where are they? Who's getting affected? Do people realize there are aliens on Earth right now? And they had one civilian family that they kept showing, but that didn't really do the job. I need to know that people are really being affected by this. That was kind of a complaint with Batman versus Superman. You got these buildings getting blown up and vehicles getting thrown everywhere. And we saw some civilians getting affected, but it still just didn't feel like people were really that concerned about what all was happening on Earth. So my rating for Justice League is a fun introduction to a promising future for the DC franchise. And in my opinion, that's all this needed to be. We like to compare Marvel and DC, and Marvel has their thing, and the way Marvel did it, bravo, it was perfect, a great build up to Avengers. What I feel like DC is doing, and I think that they finally pretty much figured it all out, is that they're going to keep their darker tone, whether you like it or not. And I appreciate that as a fan of that tone. But they are going to incorporate some things that fans of DC are going to appreciate. And if you're not a fan of DC, you should at least enjoy it, just because it's such a welcome change from what we've been getting from Marvel. You can like two different things for two different reasons. And I think DC realizes that, and they're really getting comfortable in what they're doing. And yes, there are after credit scenes. There are two of them. One is just funny. The other one is going to make you feel better about the future if you're a DC fan. I'll just say that. And that concludes this review of Justice League. Until my next review, hey.